You might be wondering, since I keep mentioning that fire can be used as a really good conservation tool, how it can be used to help increase the value of your land and provide better habitat for wildlife. So if you look behind me here, there's a massive tangle of invasive plants here, mostly honeysuckle and these trees right here, buckthorn. An invasive species, any species of plant or animal that doesn't originate from a certain place but ends up there, usually as a result of people being careless and bringing different species from other countries, letting them loose, and then not being able to control where they go and how they impact the environment. So these species, buckthorn, honeysuckle, there's a lot of others, multiflora rose, a winged euonymus, it goes on and on and on. There's hundreds of them. And the problem is, invasive species, there's nothing to control them in the new environment where they end up. So they end up reducing or sometimes eliminating the natural food sources and habitat for wildlife in an environment. So all these bushes right here, they might provide some cover, some habitat for small rodents, rabbits, things like that, but they provide very little food. They also choke out tree species that are very valuable, both for people and for wildlife. Tree species like oaks, hickories, walnuts, maples, they can't grow in this tangle of brush here. No sunlight can get down through there, and most of the water is all sucked up by those plants. So if you're interested in sustainably harvesting timber from your land, this kind of scene is a really big problem, okay? Because once you harvest a tree, a new one, a small seedling won't grow to replace what you've taken. So you can't do it sustainably. Eventually your land loses its value, and at the same time, wildlife don't have a food source. They don't have a habitat. So fire can actually be used, very carefully of course, to control this sort of problem. If you have this kind of problem on your land, I suggest you contact your local forester, your local Department of Conservation, to see maybe if you could get some help to set up what is called a prescribed or controlled burn. And in those burns, trained professionals, they actually light all this stuff on fire, and believe it or not, it controls it, but it also opens up the land so that the species that provide habitat and economic value to your land can move back in. Small controlled fires actually help the health of your land. That's the key, small and controlled. Large destructive fires are not going to help your land.